Friends, today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic of contemporary interest, that is regarding the pricing of petroleum products, especially petrol, diesel, LPG. There's a lot of controversies in the media today with regards to the fixation of pricing of petrol, diesel, and all. And people are totally unaware what's happening. Who is fixing these prices? Why these prices are changing? What frequency the prices are changing? What is its relation with the international crude prices or international prices of certain products? It's totally perplexing. For one reason, it's a very complex subject. It's not that simple how to arrive at a proper pricing of fuel products in India. So many considerations go into the decision making, and a lot of uncertainties, so much of fluctuation, so much of price dynamics going around in international market. And in India, this is going to have direct effect on the inflation and many macro microeconomic factors. So one should be very careful, extremely careful when you do this fixation. And in the media, so many reports keep coming explaining the basis and questioning, the commenting, the criticizing, but most of them are far from the facts, to be precise, because many people do not understand the complexities behind that. They are not able to appreciate what is behind that. I am trying to put some light into this, explaining to people, starting from the very basis, the history, how we came all the way from 1948 onwards, and then what is today prevailing, how the prices are fixed, what is the requirement of fixing a price, how the prices are fixed, why the prices are high or why the prices are low at some particular time, whether it is really right to pay very high price or very low price, what is really required. All these things are to be discussed, but then this is a very long subject if you start doing everything together in one video. So what I'm proposing is, I'm going to split it into multiple parts, part 1, part 2 and part 3 and all. I'll start covering the whole lot of gamut of basis and the calculations and the pricing policies. I'll try to bring in a very simple way, not to make it too technical. If anybody wants to know more detailing, they can definitely separately talk to me. So let me request all of you to please subscribe my channel, because if you subscribe it, you can continue to watch this in the second part, third part, and so that you get a total view, a complete view. And also I would request you to please subscribe this channel, not only for this subject. I'll be coming out with many good videos which are of common interest to most of the people. I think I'll start talking initially mainly limited to petrol and diesel. There is a daily price change which is happening in petrol and diesel. The base price of petrol in India is basically determined by a very complex formula decision making process. Various factors such as global crude oil prices, the currency exchange rates, transportation costs, taxes, and all these things come into picture in deciding the daily rates. The international crude oil prices play a very crucial role in this, in determining the base price, because the international crude prices generally affects the international petrol price and international diesel price also. Although may not so direct, if you really analyze in a graph the way the crude oil prices are moving up and down, and side by side you plot the petrol prices and diesel prices. It may not exactly go in tandem with the crude oil prices, but in general they follow the ups and downs of crude oil prices. So it has a big effect. The major effect of petrol and diesel prices internationally is on the crude prices. As you know, the crude prices are all basically decided based on a demand-supply balance. The more the demand, the prices will tend to shoot up. More supply, oversupply, the prices should come down. This is basic economics. The typical example is during COVID time, the COVID pandemic time during 2019-20, especially when the demand drastically came down. In turn, what happened is the supply could not be brought down in tandem with the demand destruction. When the demand destruction happens, normally the oil wells, they try to reduce the production. The OPEC countries and the major oil producing countries, like the biggest oil production is from USA, followed by Russia, and then the Saudi Arabia and other OPEC countries, they all try to reduce the production levels, but you cannot bring down an oil well all of a sudden to zero level of production. That is when what happens if there is a big reduction in demand happens, like in the case of COVID. The production levels, the supply level will remain high for some point of time, over flooding of crude oil, so that the prices will crash us down. And during the peak COVID, it was for the first time in the history, the oil prices came to negative. It went down to almost minus $40. You must have seen the meaning of negative pricing that time, because like we said, the supply wells should not cut down drastically the supply, the production, and all the storages got exhausted. So they had to pay some money for someone to take it and store it. That's how the oil prices came to negative. And now when the war happens with the Russian war happens, initially when the war happened, there will be supply disruptions, demand remaining the same. Crude oil prices went up like anything. But then after some time it got stabilized again. If I take the financial year of 2022, in April it was 102 plus 100. In May again it was 109, still higher. In June it went even up 116. After that it slowly, gradually started coming down. By August it came below 100, and today the latest price in March average is $78 per barrel. So average in 2022-23, the crude oil price was around $93 per barrel, which is on a very high level. In fact, during the COVID period and all, the oil prices came so low. So this crude oil price fluctuations definitely has a big impact on the international prices of petrol and diesel also. Like you can see in the same way in 2023, if I take, there is a difference of the diesel prices are about $20, $25 higher than the crude oil price in terms of dollar per barrel. Petrol prices are around $15 higher. In fact, internationally, last full year, if you see, the diesel prices were much higher than the petrol prices, average price. If you take the 2022-23 average diesel price, the international price, it was around $128 per barrel, whereas petrol price was $107 per barrel. In India, we see the other way around because of the artificial control on taxation and things like that. We try to keep the diesel prices at lower, because diesel has a big impact on the Indian economy. In fact, in India, 40% of the consumption of all the petroleum products happens 40 to 50% from diesel only. Whereas in US, it is totally different. US, the refineries try to make more of petrol, because their consumption, the major consumption point is the heavy trucks, which is going to affect the transportation, the inflation and all directly. So government tries to keep the diesel prices at a lower level, which will definitely help the economy. So let's stop this talk at this point of time, having given a glance of how the final. In the next video, we will go more into details on how the base price is fixed by OMCs, the refineries at the refinery gate, how the prices are fixed and how it is further added on to reach the final selling price, and what are the basic factors and the historic events, how in India by history, how we have progressed from 1948 to today by varying the different mechanisms of pricing from year to year. We will discuss a bit on that, and then finally we will come to the most important point of whether it is justified, what should be the right price, whether it should be highly priced or prices should be low, whether internationally we are competent, where do we stand internationally. All those details will come in more details as we progress in the next parts. So please subscribe and keep watching my video. Thank you.